God's great big family. And the truth, you know, love is all we need.
We have some of our sponsors here. Ria, money, is you need. Clap for him.
I think that you can support us. 1, pray for us. 2, join us. And 3, support us. And you will ask by what means? I'm talking about money. Because sometimes to run also some of these projects, it requires finance. And I don't feel discouraged about this number. I think you that have come here, you are a very good seed to HANDSA, and you will not be forgotten in our history. I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you. I want to, in presence, just appreciate our Consul General, he and the wife. Sometimes if you are somewhere and you don't find counseling, you can sometimes go astray. And it's good for us. Sometimes you see people with gray hair and you feel that it's just like, putting maybe some chemicals in your hair and it's changed. But it's with wisdom. And I have learned a lot from other people. And my knowledge also began to increase when I met the director of this center. And he said, why? He's my neighbor. So all around, I have been flying around, and I found my father. And the old man from here has been very much dynamic and supportive, and I just appreciate him. He gave this center to us free to launch this program. I'm very grateful for that. I'm not going to take much time. I just want to say thanks for coming. I want to also appreciate Yanis, who has been a very much good instrument. As I said, I will not go into naming the people, but somebody is coming to do that soon. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Akoiwala. Before we proceed, we heard him say something very important, which we have to take along with us tonight. If we are going to support the organization, either by kind or by any other means. He did mention that in this part of the world, we take quite a lot of things for granted. Basic things, we take them for granted. But over there, it started, and then I think they've started doing something. And then with that, they've got projects which will need your support. And those are the projects which I'm going to call on the project manager, Mr. Sua, to come and tell us or show us some of the projects. Mr. Sua, please. Clap for him.
Here we're going to see the table of contents, and in there we talk a little bit about facts about Liberia and HANDSA organization overview. We're going to also look at organization structure, and then the vision, the objectives, problem statement, project justification, expected project impact, transparency and accountability, and of course, a very short conclusion. Our dynamic logo. And in there, it's simple. It tells you just where we want to be. We want to be in Africa. But for now, we're going to start our project in Liberia. That's why you see the map of Africa there. It tells you and explains that we have a greater vision. And in there you see Humanitarian Aid Nursing Developmental Services Africa, and that is HANDSA. I intended to just give you the map of Africa and map of Liberia, but continue here. A lot of these points have already been mentioned. For instance, like Liberia, the country to implement this program, is located in the west coast of Africa, bounded to the west by Sierra Leone, to the north by Guinea-Conakry, and to the east by Ivory Coast. And of course, We have a very long coast, the Atlantic Ocean, which is about 350 miles in the south. Liberia is the oldest independent nation, as our MC mentioned. And of course, our population per today, according to statistics, this may not be so accurate, but we may be around 3,887,886. That's a rough figure. It may be a little higher than this. We are not quite sure. Our capital city is Monrovia. Of course, it's named after the 5th president of the United States of America, James Monroe. HANDSA organization overview. HANDSA is the acronyms for Humanitarian Aid, Nursing, Developmental Services, Africa. It is non-profit, non-political, and non-governmental organization established under the laws of the Royal Kingdom of Norway. Say anything, I may be ending with orphan children. It may sound boring, but that's the dream, that's the vision. There's nothing that's going to take this dream away. Our vision is orphan children. Then the question is, what are the goals? What are the objectives after all of this? Well, first, the vision is to give orphan children love, education, care, and to provide them with the skills of life, or life skills. Our goal, or the goal is, develop orphan children into productive and mature adults. Regardless of what happens, they should reach that stage. Then we have achieved a goal. Orientate them into real life experiences. Let them begin to feel that is today in Liberia. And take a look at the number of children. 1,878,000. Out of that total number, you have 340,000 orphan children. That is children without mama and papa. Sorrowful to hear, you know. It pains me a lot. And I think it pains my CEO. It pains all of us. And that's why we are here tonight. To tell you the truth. To present the fact. Post-war Liberian children are constantly seen doing the basic rights, ranging from the right to development and health, to the right to identity, family, education, leisure, participation in cultural activities. Then we have our project justification. HANDSA plans to construct and operate children orphanage. This is what we think. Shall be located in Fendel, Mosorano County, Liberia. That's our capital city. It shall be called HANDSA Children Village. Now, this is our dream. HANDSA Children Village is what we intend to begin with. About 200 homeless children. So let's stand together. This is a noble cause. The impacts we anticipate, what do we expect after all of this? Bringing the children from the streets into a home, giving them education, giving them skill. What do we expect? We expect them to have some what we call community acceptance of orphans. We can achieve a lot through our donors' confidence. If you use that money for transportation, it means you have diverted the course for that money's donation. And this is what we want to go against. This is why when you say your money should be put into food for the kid, it should go directly for the purchase of food for the kid. And support for children at all levels of the society. HANDSA leadership will actively organize fundraising programs here in Osho and everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, not taking much of the time, I would like to conclude with these few words. It's a summary. It may sound boring, but this is a key point. HANDSA plans to construct and operate a small children refuge center called orphanage in the West African country of Liberia. Approximately 200 orphans will be in the start of the program. These children will have the opportunity to acquire vocational skills, attend regular schools, as well as receive extra lessons and assistance provided by our staff. HANDSA intends to help reduce the vicious circle of suffering and restore hope to the lives of these children. Orphan children in Liberia and Africa need help, and we must do all we can to ensure that they have a future. Ladies and gentlemen, come and join HANDSA and bring life to orphan children in Africa and Liberia. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sua. That was a powerful message you gave. Yeah. And then I'm sure you are all convinced now that HANDSA is something to support, not only by prayer, because man doesn't live alone by prayer. Please clap for Mr. Botu.
Hello to all. Distinguished guests, your presence is highly acknowledged. As we move towards making HANDSA a vibrant organization, in making sure that we usher some help to our brothers and sisters in Liberia, we are also working in line with modernization, meaning we have embarked upon our website, and that has been like a week ago. So the contents are still in process, and we don't have a full website, but I'm going to demonstrate. Stay in the process, all the contents are not ready. And we also do this in conjunction with our Facebook page. Check for HANDSA, HANDSA, HANDSA 8, or you can just use HANDSA. There we have most of our mission objectives. We have many information that is important for you. And just to give you a very privileged information, we are very blessed from the onset of our operations. We received 5 desktops from our Medicine Sans Frontiers, 6 laptops, 1 internet service provider, and a projector that is to be used for HANDSA office in Norway and that of Liberia. So we still anticipate receiving more items from friends, other agencies that are interested in supporting the work of children. So I would like to encourage you to do what you can, and we are going to accept any general contribution you give to us in the name of saving the life in Liberia. Thank you.
So good to introduce such a speaker to us than our very, very good brother, Mr. Amos Kono.
Hello, everybody. My hands are going to quiver. Not that you frighten me, but we have been acculturated drinking coffee. And because of that, it affects me somehow. But I will not stop drinking coffee. Yeah, no. Forgivimos la canoche. Dr. Dege, Honorary Consul of Liberia in Norway, Mr. David Akwewala, Chief Executive Officer of HANDSA, dignitaries present, Humanitarian organization present, and our partners in progress, Mr. Ba, excuse me if I don't pronounce the name rightly, Director, African Culture Center, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to introduce to you someone who, in addition to being a humanitarian, is also someone I consider to be a very close friend. As As it happens, the guest speaker was the first acquaintance I made when I visited Kongsberg in 2005. I was then attending the independence celebration of Liberia at such time. Our dynamic guest speaker was born on 7 April 1963 in Monrovia, Liberia. He was well bred in Kakata, Liberia, and attended primary and elementary schools at the St. Augustine Episcopal Mission. He later moved to the northern part of Liberia and obtained his junior high education at the Lanco area school system in Yekepa, Nimba County. Having the appetite for the megalomania of academic and other opportunities that capital cities around the globe have to offer, our dynamic guest speaker relocated to Monrovia, the capital city, and completed his high school education at the Hillwood Industrial Mission. As a result of the uncivilized and unjustifiable war that destroys so many lives and properties, and did engulf Liberia in December 1989, our guest speaker sought refuge in neighboring Sierra Leone in 1990. Fortunately for him, including some of us, in 2003, he was resettled to Norway by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees in collaboration with the annual quota resettlement program of this great royal kingdom of Norway. In Norway, he enrolled at the Buskerud University College in Drammen and later obtained a Bachelor of Arts degree in political science from the renowned University of Oslo. He is married with 3 children and to a beautiful woman called Florence. The name Florence speaks for itself. In addition, our guest speaker professional and social achievements are as follows. Managing Director, Chukata International Investment Holding, Chairman Liberia Friendship Association, LENFA, elected member of the Kongsberg City Council, representative of the Health and Social Committee, as well as a member of the Disability Council of Kongsberg, and a current employee of Grand Hotel Kongsberg. Against his academic and professional backgrounds, as I just enumerated, I have no reservation that our guest speaker deliberation will produce a cross-fertilization of ideas that will be germane to the goals and vision of HANDSA. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the executive and members of HANDSA, I, the Honorable Amos G. Kono, do have the pleasure and honor at this time to introduce to you our dynamic guest speaker of today, the Honorable Mr. Walter Tutu Savage.
Thank you, Mr. Kono. That was a sensational introduction. Yeah. Even if I don't speak tonight, this guy. So, Honorable Consul General, Jan Decker, the founder and CEO
of HANDSA, Mr. David Akwala, the director of the African Culture Center, Mr. Bart, the president of the Union of the Liberian Association in Norway, Mr. Emmanuel Swart, former president of ULEN, and also the newest member of its advisory board, Mr. Ken Mablo, all distinguished guests, members of HANDSA board, ladies and gentlemen. This is a great opportunity, great establishment, this great event tonight. I was overwhelmed, unbelievably, when David called me and asked me to speak. And today, I'm going to be talking on different topics, because this is a great opportunity. There's so much happening, and Norway is a place where important things happen, especially this launching of HANDSA. So statement must be made, something must go in the wind, and given to this issue that is the present discourse in the Liberian community now. I will also be looking at other continent political issues affecting Liberia, all within my time. Okay, I will actually, my theme is the dawn of a new Liberian rationality. The dawn of a new Liberian rationality. And I came upon finally this theme when I kept on. He decided, whatever reason, to go down Center Street, walk in the middle of the street. He on the white line, he on the middle, in the middle of the street. The red clothes he wears symbolizes royalty. In our African tradition, red was what the elite wore, the Zoes and the kings. This guy in a simple, maybe that's the only clothes he has on. Nothing else besides that red thing. He managed to get a pair of slippers. He doesn't know where his meal might come from. But he go into town. Probably he going to see the president. I begin to ask myself, so this child, like every other child, is beginning to take the future in their own hands. They're not waiting for anybody. They're not waiting for HANDSA. They're marching downtown and they want to be noticed. They're taking center stage. And why are they taking center stage? Because they're where they belong. They're demanding center stage. He won't mind disrupting traffic. He won't mind collecting a crowd on local. This is the reality. This is what when we were kids. But this guy doesn't have a dog baby. She's probably in a village. She's at the back of the house. She's deep in thoughts. At that mind, at that age, her imagination, her neuron cells, all working. Because she's unique. She's the only one God made. Nobody else like her. So her thought pattern is different from any other person. And she had this pristine mind. What's she thinking about? What's her future? How will she end? Lost in thought. This is another girl, also dreaming. Her parents and the aunt put her in these big clothes, gorgeous, royalty, to probably serve in a wedding as a flower girl. But she has her own thoughts. She will never forget this occasion. This occasion should shape this girl like one of the biggest things that will ever happen to her if the society allows her. Her life will be colorful like this. After she takes off this clothes, she will have to put it back on symbolically. There are many like that. He too is dreaming. What is the future of the children? Liberian children are taking center stage. And that's why I'm so happy about HANDSA and the work we're doing. See these kids? They're in no orphanage, but the condition is very bad. Take a careful look at this picture. these children and the chickens eating together. We know the old scene, we know it, right? The chicken come and talk, big in the rice, and these children, and the chicken tackless is all on the ground, so the children hand all in the chicken mess, and they put in the very hand because they're not using spoon, and they putting their hands in the food, and these children, maybe 2-year-old, 3-year-old, they might not reach 5 years old. Now the mortality rate among children is very high in Africa. If they eat here, they don't sit to the table. Then where do they sleep? You should see their sleeping places. Because children are not placed central in our African Liberian culture. That's why the children demand to take center place. Like that boy we saw. The children, when things go wrong, the children have a way of finding their own way. 1989, when I was fleeing Liberia, I saw children in many circumstances. I saw children with arms. We call them armed soldiers or child soldiers. But in my mind, I had learned to live with them. I had justified the plight in which those children find themselves. That's what will happen to each of these children during the next Liberian war. If they are not placed center, if their dreams don't come true. Dreams are innocent and pure. They all must come true, whatever it be. A little boy took the football. A little girl wore brighter clothes. A boy is marching downtown, he knows where he's going. All dreams must be fulfilled. The dreams of our children, my dreams have been changed when I was a little boy. It might have been delayed because of the war. So the dreams of the children will always be, and when we see the kids, those are the things we should safeguard. What are the dreams? How can we create an environment that the dream can blossom and have Liberia as its canopy, as it were? Yeah. So on my way to safety, I came across some children. 2 kids. One was about 16 years old, and another was about 18 or 19, or you are a little bigger. And both of them saved my life. Maybe that's why I have a different view of Charles. Both of them were well armed. But I was surprised that these children had a mature worldview. That these children were in that situation because of circumstances, and there was a way of them adapting. I was placed on death row the 2nd of August, 1989. I sat there all day. Many people were killed in a place called Bar, coming towards the Sierra Leone border. I was on a bench that was jam-packed with shaky men. Nobody could look one another in the eye. At one point, the bench reduced. We were only 3. Where were those men going? And more were coming on the bench. It was death row. I sat there from 8 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock in the night. Then a truck came with a lot of soldiers, blooded, coming with wounded and dead. They were cursing and angry. And the commander of the deck finally told the guy, yeah, we'll have goat for you guys. And who was the goat? Me. And 1 or 2 other guys on the bench. So I know you guys angry. You're going to waste your vegetation on these dogs, these goats. They want a typical, he called it the tribe he thought I belonged to. He tried to lie, say he was a member of the Crew tribe. But he can't even speak a word of Crew. That was my task. They told me to speak my mother's tongue. I didn't know. My mother was a school teacher, English teacher. She didn't grow up in the village. We grew up near Monrovia, Calcutta. I didn't learn Crew. And hundreds of thousands of Liberians can't speak their native tongue. And because I couldn't speak my mother tongue, I was placed on death row. And I was surprised. Who was the commander a boy, I will never forget his name, called Mark. Only that name I heard, Mark. And Mark wanted to make the decision, but Mark was beat and tired. But he was sound in his mind, and he stared at me in the face with surprise. He said, "Oh, is this man still here?" I was surprised that he had noticed me before. And I said, "Yeah." Then he asked, "Did he speak his mother tongue?" He said, "No." He said, "How about the other boy?" "Which boy?" "The boy that was holding the bed with that woman." "Oh, that boy, his mother identified him. But did he speak?" "No." "Are you sure the mother was talking the truth? You sure she was his mother?" "I want that boy. We can't do nothing to this man until you bring that boy." Now they couldn't deliver the boy because the boy had left ever since in the morning. He told them, "Y'all make his pass. This is a revolution. We are not here to kill people randomly. We don't want innocent blood." I was shocked. And I was released and gave me a pass. Normally you have 20 people on a single pass. But our place was only one pass. He said, "Go if you can go tonight." But I had to stay there hotel 2 days to go with the crowd. But this is what happened. A child soldier who could have, in his desperation, ended my life, saved my life. Because he was a Liberian who was struggling with his dreams. The war was disrupting him, and he was not prepared to allow it to happen. There was a war that had to be fought, but it had to be fought justly. We need to prepare the children for the circumstances and the unfortunate things and the decisions we as adults can meet. They too will have to meet it, but when they are prepared, then we say if the children rule, the child soldier were killing because we didn't prepare them for those emergencies that will inevitably come. There will always be wars. There will always be revolutions that break out in any country. There will always be armed revolt. Whether it's college student leading it, whoever, these things will happen. The responsibility that HANDSA has taken is a great one. The challenges are so fearful. Because Liberia being a very poor country, destroyed by the war added to it. Before the war, Liberia was a poor country. We had the fundamentals economically, we had the stability because of the strong leadership. But that was just a surface. Underneath, the majority of people were poor and struggling. There wasn't a better day in Liberia. It was only in our dreams. We were hoping for a better day. But it never happened. And then the war came and destroyed everything. And there's nothing left. As a result, we are at crossroads. We have reached a crossroads of time and destiny. Our options are few. Our opportunity costs are hard. The only rational thing to do is to take a thoughtful pause and re-event our beginnings in order to march towards the 21st century. We have to re-event our beginnings. That's what we need to do. That's the rationality. It's not a very difficult thing to do, but we need to pause. We need to hold. We need to change. But how do we change? What are our beginnings? Is it a historical aspect? What is the timeline of our beginnings? What of our beginnings, if I receive our beginnings as object, will be our children? Because they have the future. They're just beginning. They have a life. 35 years from now, and that's the only time we have, our last chance, our generation, 35 more years, we all will be in our 80s and 90s if we survive to reach that stage. And what will be happening in Liberia? A new dawn. We will be exactly 35 years from now. We'll be celebrating. Liberians will be celebrating. Some of us will be too old to go out. We'll listen to the radio in our safe homes, or we'll manage to go on our states. That would be the bicentennial anniversary of Liberia. Liberia will be 200 years old. 200 years old. 35 years from now. That should be our target. The president has, everybody should set the net, cast the net, set the goal. The president has 2030 as Liberia rising. Our vision should be clear. 2047, that will be a new dawn. That's 35 years. That's good time to work. And our hands are starting now.
Who deserted all they had to do today just to be here. I had the opportunity to visit Dr. Degger at the office when we were trying to get started from the ground. And this is every second of his is either on the phone, on the computer, so engaged. And had to do all he can today. Guess he had never gone home and had to be here to grace this occasion. How do you thank such a person? How do I thank Brother Yanni? From this morning, been at the office, series of meetings, who some of you have not even had lunch today, to be here, to ensure that we create a future for children. How do I thank you? What manner of word can I say that will commensurate your presence of being here? Nevertheless, on behalf of the executive members, and also all humanitarians who are unable to be present with us today, we want to say we highly appreciate your time spent with us. Your presence here alone worth more than millions of dollars. Excuse me per se, we are in Norway, millions of kronas. And Norwegian money is very valuable. But I want to thank you personally. And we want to assure you that your presence and sacrifices you have made to be here today will never be in vain. We will ensure that HANDSA live up to your expectation. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kono, on behalf of Norway. As I said, we're coming to the end of the program. And before we leave here, personally, I would like us to have a sort of blessing.
I would like to remind everybody here is that we have a dance tonight in this very hall. It starts at 10 o'clock, and the entrance fee is 100 krona. And also, I just got word that we have food. Yeah, I knew I would have come up the stage, so then I didn't bother to come. But I think we are at the threshold of making history. We come from a country with that have been through war. We have our brothers and sisters, children, that need our immediate help. Dear Father Lord Jesus, we say thank you for this day. We say thank you for all these good people who have taken your time. That this is scary to be here in the interest of promoting the life of children. We say once more thank you, and may your time spent here never be in vain. Thank you.
Yes, I'm okay.
I have a few questions to ask you, but before I start, I would like to thank you for organizing this organization, HANDSA.
Thank you.
Number one, what is the vision of HANDSA?
Well, this is a very long story because HANDSA vision is to create a better future for the children that we have in Liberia and Africa at large. Because if you see, Africa is being ravaged by severe crisis, natural disasters, and most of these children have lost their parents into the severe crisis. And sometimes, they don't even have somebody who will cater to them. So the vision of HANDSA is to create a very bright and decent future for these children who have no parents.
What is your expectation for this organization?
My expectation is very big and is very broad because I'm somebody who like to think big, and my expectation is HANDSA from today, the 2nd of November, in 1 or 2 years' time. The day we will gather, you will be believing that HANDSA will have a lot of members, and you'll see people with a big vision coming to join with HANDSA to make sure that this organization that we have started, forge ahead with helping the children and giving them a better future. So our expectation is those children who are in the street begging for food, don't have better place to sleep, our expectation is we'll create a very better environment for them where they will live with a happy family.
What is the major challenge HANDSA is facing right now?
The major challenge can be, there are a lot of challenges, but one and foremost is we are very new in the society. It's also, there are a lot of organizations who are doing almost the same thing, raising funds, and sometimes donors are very much fed up with this kind of organization just flattening up and down. But I can say that we are giving people the opportunity to invest their money into a very good future, which is the life of the children. We want to see out of the children and giving them a better future. So for me, in the next 1 or 2 years, you're going to see HANDSA blowing up into the wing that people will also like to identify with. You will see people volunteering to go and help join us in doing some of these things. So for me, it's a good example.
What is the mission of HANDSA?
The mission of HANDSA, as I've said, is like creating a better educational system, future for these children who have lost hope. Because sometimes it's very painful to see children of the age of 5 who are still going to bed hungry. And here we are in Norway or in the civilized world where we are still eating food and throwing the rubbish away, or maybe a portion of the food. Maybe you just tasted 1 or 2, maybe took 2 or 3 spoons of the food, and later you trash the food. So for me, if we can only just divide some of these things into the life of these children that we are trying to advocate for me, it will be a decent thing, and we'll have a better, good future like just you and I.
Is there anything in particular you like to? What is that?
One more time.
Is there anything in particular you like to draw?
Yeah, the attention is the love, the care, and the kindness and patience that we should show for other people to help themselves. Because in the world, nobody chooses where to be born, and nobody chooses which community or society should be born to. And nobody ever chose poverty. But sometimes when these things come in our midst because of maybe disaster, because of crisis, we should be able to make just room for people who are affected by some of these things. For example, recently in the USA, the Hurricane Sandy destroyed a lot of people. But because of kindness and faithfulness, and generosity, people are coming to give something to these people who have lost their homes, people who have lost their family members, just to make them, able to start life and be like, It's trying to create an awareness that sometimes we have left Africa, Liberia in particular, and we seem to be forgetting that there are still people who are out there who need our help. Sometimes it's just about giving 10 kroner to somebody who can have a better meal for that day. So for me, my thinking is I have got a lot from civilized society, so I think it's about time that I gave some of these things back to people who are disadvantaged by crisis or disaster.
Do you see any hope in this organization at all?
Oh yes, I see hope because if I see my friends and people who are also associated with, because sometimes you have very high expectations and very high hopes, and sometimes there are limitations. Sometimes will come your way. But for me, I have not allowed my limitation, to shadow my goodness or my zeal in me. So my strength and my energy will always make me to forge ahead.
What is your personal?
My motivation is if somebody can just reference HANDSA, that yes, I got education, I got a better life, and I think it was because of me that these people came, I got a better future today. And every day I lie down, and because I have life and I'm living a decent life, it will also motivate me every day because I'm not sick, I'm not in prison, I'm not committing crimes. So my motivation is always to see myself saying that yes, I want to be part of humanity, I want to be part of a civilized society. So these are things that motivate me to make sure that in the life that I'm living, people also worth living the same life just like me. So my motivation is each time I lie down and wake up, somebody out there who is suffering, thinking that they have lost every hope, and I can see, oh yes, today something came from my HANDSA, that today I'm able to have food, I have a shelter, I have better education. These are things that I want to see whenever somebody say as a testimony. It can be my motivation also to help many children.
How can you make a difference?
There are a lot of ways that I can make a difference because as our guest speaker was saying, a lot of orphanages is around the country, but you found out that most of these people, they solicit money from donors and that they invest these things into their own private use. But for me, it's going to be a different thing because the money that we want to invest into the life of these children, we will be very much transparent, we will be very much open to society. That's why I want to just see that our people are just free and having access to every document that we have got. It can be our financial status, it can be our newsletters, it can be the story about the children, it can be the orphanage. People are free just to go in the orphanage that we built, just to go and ask the children, even how are you well taken care of. So they will also sometimes give the better information to those who want to get accurate information on them. Because sometimes it's good for the children also to talk for themselves. Because we as parents or adults who will always speak for these children, we always say the good side. But if you also ask the children, they can say maybe the opposite or even more than what we are saying. So the best witness will be those children themselves who have been treated by HANDSA. They will be our testimony.
Okay, the last question is, what is your message to the people who are willing to help or donate to this organization?
My message to these donors and friendly organizations and private people is you can trust us with your money. You can invest into HANDSA that you will never regret. And for me, I want people to put their money where their mouth is. And to have all of these things done, it's not going to be about David. It's not going to be about people in HANDSA. It's about the children. So if we focus our attention on the children, then of course we are going to succeed. So my appeal to them is trust HANDSA, invest in HANDSA. You can travel with us and see our projects. You can volunteer with us to see our projects. You can also just go to some of these children and volunteer some of your services, maybe in the school, in the health sector, where there is food shortage. Maybe you have some experience that we can grow food for the village. You can also bring some of these ideas. So we'll be looking forward to our friends that want us to have food not to be a problem in the home, medicine not to be a problem in the home, education not to be a problem in the home, and also those people that we've loved and experience for dealing with orphans. So for me, my greatest appeal to everybody in general would be invest in us. Your money will never go in vain. We will make sure that we all use the money together as we want it to be. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you.
So I know why. But it has to do with passion, I guess. Why should I feel discouraged? And why should my shadow come? Why should my heart be lonely and alone? 'Cause when Jesus is my comfort, my constant friend is He. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me when I sing, because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye, 'cause I is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. Come to constellation.
As I said, this is Inkuleleku Cultural Group. I'm a member of the group. That's why I'm going to sing with them now. And this is our conductor, Mr. Ture Amundsen. And then we've got two musicians here. Shell, first rate. And then Christine Swenson on the bass.
Tina singa banini balonsi, Tina singa banini balonsi, Tina singa banini balonsi, Tina singa banini balonsi. Pagena Tina kwanyaka sabantu, Pagena Tina soshari kita, Pagena Tina kwanyaka sabantu, Pagena Tina soshari kita, soshari kita, soshari kita. Shashai guitar, shashai guitar, shashai guitar, shashai guitar, shashai guitar, shashai guitar. Tina singa banini balonsi, Tina singa banini balonsi, Tina singa banini balonsi, Tina singa banini balonsi. Pagena Tina panyaka sabantu, Pagena Tina shashai guitar. Now watch me do my
keep rising. And when they do, they don't even like it. They just wanna see you leave from crisis. Drive us off, you don't need the license. All the hush, you can even ride it. Go ahead, move your feet just like this. Then they showed me the latest. Go walk over the pages. Now what you do, man, that's what go. Now watch me do my zo-zo. Now watch me do my zo-zo. Now watch me do my zo-zo. You walk over the pages. Now what you do, man, that's what go.
change. We all a part of God's great big family. And the truth, you know, love is all we need.